Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Ben Labre, the co-founder and CEO of Gesture. We're going to chat to him today and get to know him and his company a little bit and have a great time. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ben. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great, great. So tell me, what is Gesture?
So, Gesture is a sort of a new way to gift people. We launched about 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
We started off as just a basic gifting app. And the difference between us and any other company that's out there is we control the whole process. So you can send flowers, wine, champagne for all different types of occasions, not just like Mother's Day or Valentine's, but we not only source the product, but we actually deliver it in real time because we control the whole delivery process, the
Okay.
fleet. So kind of like Uber has two apps, we have the same thing as
Yeah.
based on what we do. So we make gifting really easy. But on the flip side, um, over the years, we've sort of turned it into an ecosystem. And so the more that you gift and you use Gesture for your basic gifting stuff, we actually reward you as a user with free gifts from time to time. That might be some of our users get gifts about 2 to 3 times a week. And we're talking about super cool gifts like
Yeah.
might be a bottle of really nice wine. It might be a 4 pack of lip gloss from Mac. There's just so
Okay.
many different types of things, but that's basically what it is. It's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. So when you say that you handle everything, so you go and get obviously the gifts and then you deliver them as well.
That's correct. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So that surely has its own challenges, right? Because normally, the gifting sphere is more like a, service where they kind of outsource. So, yeah, how are you doing with managing a fleet?
Yeah. It can be challenging. It is one of those things where a lot of companies use drop shipping and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah, one of the things that we had seen, just over the years, I'm sure if you've ever sent flowers or something like that to someone,
Yeah.
there was either no transparency, there was a sense of disappointment, what you
Mm,
all this time looking for wasn't really what showed up. And those are sort of the horror stories that people have. And we wanted to sort of put an end to all of that. So
yeah.
it's really cool. So we are a servicer. We don't, inventory any of the products, but we work with very specific vendors to get the best products. And again, managing our own fleet, as we call them,
Yeah.
G runners that are out in the field, they get dispatched. We go out, we deliver.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So why did you start Gesture, Ben?
Yeah, so it was for the reason that I had mentioned, based on just the sense of transparency, disappointment, the lack
Yeah.
of options, or sometimes if you went to even some of our competitor sites, even to this day, you're scrolling through hundreds or even thousands of SKUs, trying to find products, trying to find the right
Yeah.
where on the other end, sometimes it's not the gift, it's the gesture, no pun, right? But
Mm.
it's just the idea of giving a gift. So that's really where we wanted to sort of fill that gap, and we noticed that gifting
Yeah.
is a really it's been around for centuries, and so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where we wanted just to make it frictionless, easy,
Yeah.
simple, and basically just sort of take all the pain points out of that, and that's one of the reasons why we started. You
Yeah.
know, back 4.5, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah. Have you had any horror stories with bad gifts?
It's funny. Not necessarily. We have the opposite actually. So with
Okay.
Gesture, if you download the app,
Yeah.
it's not to say that we haven't messed up or bad gifts or anything,
Of
but
course not.
yeah, we really cater to our user. It's really funny. One of the most I'd say very popular categories on the app is
Mm.
we have categories, or as we call them, sort of occasions, and a tile of occasions when you first download the app. Well, one of
Yeah.
the occasions is called a sweet goodbye, and you can actually break up with somebody on Gesture. You can send them dead roses and a box of tissues, and people actually use it. Yeah, you can send them dead flowers, literally wilted. dead flowers in a box of tissue. People pay 30 bucks for that, and they'll send it to someone. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, and it's just sometimes it's done as a joke. It's funny because you're not spending a ton of money, but there are some people that really
Genuinely
want to
mean
send the
it.
message across. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different funny sort of gifts or products in that category. There's like a
Yeah.
book on getting through a breakup. There's a book that you can send someone a cactus. So yeah, it's pretty funny, believe it or not. But yeah, and it wasn't our idea. These are uh, these came in as us listening to our customer and our consumer, and them
Yeah.
requesting, and we created the occasion for it. It's pretty funny. Mhm.
That's crazy. Okay. Okay, so what is your vision for gesture?
Yeah, so it's one of those things I mentioned. It's just an ecosystem that continues to give. So
Yeah.
like users send gifts to other people, recipients receive, but we don't want to just stop it there. We want people just to continue to give and receive, even if
Yeah.
it's a user not having to spend money and getting something from the back end from a cool brand or something
Yeah.
like that. So we've created this like really fun ecosystem, but that's the long term vision of Gesture. I
Yeah.
mean, and on top of that, we have really cool features within the app itself. Like you can send
Mm,
gifts with no address needed. You can just use someone's phone number, or
okay.
we're sort of integrated in some of the dating apps where you don't need any info. You can just drop a link in someone's DM and
Oh,
send a
wow.
gift that way. But yeah, so the vision is just to continue to be the best and most easiest gifting platform, but at the same time, the platform that just never stops giving. Mhm.
Yeah. Amazing. I love how innovative you are. I mean, like thinking about sending gifts without addresses is I think very important because it's quite invasive sending your address, and sometimes in the whole dating process somebody wants to show their gesture but they can't cross that line. So that's a really good idea. And for the mere fact that you guys send dead flowers because people ask for it just shows that like you really do pay attention to your consumer, which is incredible. Like that's really
Well,
cool.
I wish we could. Yeah, thank you. I wish that we could put all the products that some of our consumers ask if they can send. You'd be surprised what some people have messaged and asked me if like they're mad at somebody, and so they ask, I'll pay extra if you can deliver this, and I'm just,
It's very much
I'll
borderline.
get a funny Slack message that says, "Hey, are we open to?" And I'm like, "No." Uh, you know, and then they're just like, they said they'll pay an extra $100, and I'm like, no, I'm not
No,
doing
that's a bit much. I mean, I can
that.
imagine like some really disgusting things that people would come up with.
Yeah,
So
it's just more, yeah, it's like stuff in a bag,
yep,
left on the front porch.
yep,
And it may not necessarily be human. It's just in general, and I'm just kind of like,
that's a bit
we've seen some, but on the flip side, like Gesture has brought people together as well. But I mean, we've had our fair share of even some of our like runners calling in, our G runners calling in from the field and saying, "Hey,
yeah.
like I went to three places, and the first place told me there was a time where this person had sent a gesture to somebody, what I'm assuming they were just dating, and so
Mm,
he sent her something, I think, to home, and she wasn't home, and so I think her doorman said, "Go to this place. I think this is where she might be," and so then we called the sender. Sender said, "Yeah, go for it," and so we went to this, I guess, bar or restaurant that she worked at, and they said no,
okay.
she's not in today. And then they request or suggested we go somewhere else, and we did, and she wasn't there either. And so the sender messaged in and said, "You know what, like, just can you spread the flowers, crunch the flowers up, and shred them and put them all over her like
Oh my
platform?" And we were kind of like, yeah, no, but I guess she had told him that she was working.
god.
Uh,
Okay.
we found out that she wasn't, and so
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so like it's been
It's a
funny.
little awkward.
Yeah, so those are what's cool about working here is that you get to participate in some of those stories, and then what's cool is you get to curate those stories, whether it
Yeah.
be in technology or whether it be in marketing or media or
Yeah.
PR. You get to like really talk about those things, and that's what makes it fun coming in every day. It's pretty cool.
So cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing at Gesture at the moment?
Oh yeah, I think none at all. It's a perfect environment. No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, gosh, where do we start? I think it's just, I think it's a matter of, just people. Well, I think it's a matter of just, I think individuals not wanting to contribute based on maybe imposter syndrome or just, just lacking the problem solving skills,
Mhm.
growth. At the same time, we look for individuals that, can problem solve very quickly, that are solutions oriented,
Yeah.
enjoy coming into an office versus working remote, those sort of things. So those are some of the challenges. It's competitive out there, but we try and make it the best environment possible that we can here. And just being a small tech company, it's fun, but yeah, definitely challenging. So I think it's just though if I had to choose some, those are some. It's not bad things. It's all good
Yeah.
things, and some of the other things are just scaling as fast as we need to scale,
Yeah.
growing, and being ready for just a lot of the opportunities that are presented to us that we can't take advantage of. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. And do you
Yeah.
have any cool projects going on? I mean, Christmas is coming up, so it's definitely going to be a busy season for you.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's so many cool things happening right now where
Yeah.
we're going through, we're rebranding some of our products.
Okay.
We're doing some really cool stuff with tech.
Hmm.
But on top of that, believe it or not, I know it's only December 5th, but we have our first Valentine's Day meeting next week.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's Valentine's and Mother's Day are probably, of course, just like any other, but like
Yeah.
and thing is, with Valentine's and Mother's Day, those are the 2 days that you just don't mess up people's.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You can't.
they'll never forgive you, which I understand. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be special, so I think it's, as they say, it's one of the most stressful days for people that give,
Yeah.
because everybody, sorry about that, everybody wants to make it
Special.
special and fun. So in terms of projects, yeah, it's constantly never stopping, but
Yeah.
lots of cool things. Yep. Mhm.
Cool, cool. All right. So, what sort of assistance would you need from our community of side hustlers?
Yeah, I mean, just I think sourcing talent is always helpful, and
Yeah.
it's being able to have just a resource and just a partner in that capacity always helps us with those sort of things. I mean, we have a good knack for talent and a good eye, but we're only so many, and there's only so many
Yeah.
hours in the day. So yeah, just having that ability to really recognize people that are either here in New York. We
Yeah.
do have an office, a small office in Denver. We're looking to expand and grow out, but yeah. So I mean, there's a combination of a lot of things, but I guess in terms of that, that would probably be where we would love some in-house or in-person resources. Mhm.
Yeah. So, what are the specific roles that you are currently looking to fill at the moment?
Oh gosh, I mean we're at this point where we're not a sort of a product on a napkin, as they say, that we're trying to do product market fit and just launch. We're
Okay.
4.5 years old, so we're at that point where we're now starting to go into the second chapter of typically
Mm,
what a tech company or tech startup goes through. So we're looking to really grow at a very lightning pace, lightning speed, and so with
yeah.
that, we're hiring in all roles. roles, software engineering, full
Hmm.
stack developers, back end architects for hiring for marketing, digital marketing specialists, paid campaign specialists, customer experience. I mean, we're just so many different roles that we have available. So it's really cool, really interesting. But a lot of we're hiring in sales quite a bit as well. So that's executive, account executives or
Yeah.
senior account executives. But yeah, just a ton of different roles. So we're really not a lot of data science, data analytics. So we have quite a few different roles that are out there that are available. So we're not really close to anything where we might think someone might be a good fit. If the person is great and they have a multi sort of faceted skill set, we might create a role for them if we feel that something can work and they can help us get to the finish line. That's what's most important. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yep.
So yeah, you mentioned the full stack developers and the tech department, the sales, the marketing and the customer experience. Are those all sort of in-house roles? Do you want them in New York and Denver or just New York or just Denver?
Yeah, good question. So, software engineering, we're a little bit more flexible with those being remote roles. We
Okay.
try and hire here in New York City or at least in the New York area because we
Yeah.
do bring people in. So, like, we bring our software engineers in sometimes once every other week to
Okay.
just sort of like strategize,
Yeah.
whether it's culture, whether it's powwows, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be, to like, have some fun around there. But
Yeah.
it makes it a little easier when they're semi-local.
Yeah.
So that's what we've tried to focus on. But again, we've had other engineers that are in different states, which is not a problem. But we're a
Okay.
little more flexible on that.
Yeah.
I'm actually heading to Utah tomorrow
Okay.
to potentially talk with somebody that we're thinking about hiring
Okay.
more on sort of the senior level. But
Mm.
there's a good chance that we might even be able to open up an office there in
Okay.
Salt Lake City. So, just looking at different talent, but that would be more sales, more
Yeah.
business development, things like that. So if it works, it might be an option as well. But yeah, so some roles like our marketing roles, any of that stuff, customer experience, all of that's pretty much in house.
Mm.
And then we do have some internship roles, of course, on the software side and other that we do like all of our interns to be in house. It just helps them focus a little bit more as well. So,
Okay.
so we're
Okay.
pretty flexible with some roles, but some roles, yeah, it requires in house.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ben. It's been lovely chatting to you and getting to know you and Gesture. I love the concept, and I really, again, just love the fact that you pay attention to what your consumers want and what they need. Obviously, you have a line that you're not willing to cross, which is very important because people are very, very good at testing boundaries. But
Oh,
it sounds like you kind of tested around and you played around with the role a bit. I mean, you did say that you've been up for 4.5 years, so you're pretty well versed in this. So thank
yeah,
you for sharing with us.
for sure. Thank you for having, and yeah, I'm hoping to work with you guys moving forward. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely connect again soon.
awesome.